kind family, welcome back. And if you're new here, please like and comment on the video. It really helps us. And please subscribe. You're gonna love it here. I love you already. We are gonna be besties. My name is Sierra. Welcome. The ladies from Squad Ghouls collab bring you Irish folklore inspired nails. I personally chose Changeling, and look, I did wings. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see what the other ladies did. I know they came up with something fun and amazing. And all of their links to their YouTubes and Instagrams and TikToks will be down in the description box. I'm going to get into them, and I'm going to get into what a changeling is. If you do not know what a changeling is, we're going to go over it. But first, I want to give you a brief description of what is going on here. So, these are Criminal Claws tips. These are gel tips, not plastic. And when I say these tips are strong, oh my gosh, you cannot bend these tips. These tips, once you apply them and want to shape them, you can feel how sturdy they are on your nails. And you can feel the difference. You can really feel that difference between normal plastic tips and these gel tips. So I'm going to be applying them, and these are going to stay stiletto. So these tips are stiletto already, but if you notice, if you've ever watched all my videos, I like a really strong, long stiletto. I like to slim them down. So I'm going to go in and bring in the sides just a little bit so that they really are that sharp, sleek look. Now, these are great if you decide that you want to do coffin. These tips are perfect. All you have to do is literally cut off the tip. You don't have to bring in the sides at all. And they create a coffin look, which will be in the next video. So we're just going in and applying them. And the top of my glue bottle, it got all glunked up and stuff. And I just kept cutting it down. And it got to the point to where like it was just crusted all up through it. So I just popped the whole top off and used something to kind of just dip in, get glue on it, and then slide it across the tip and then apply the tip. I don't like wasting stuff, and it was a brand new bottle. It was my bad. I totally ruined it. But here you can see I'm going in with 180 grit nail file and just bringing in those sides a little bit, making it look a lot sharper. I want it to be really sharp. So my idea was to choose like the fairy side of Irish folklore. I love fairies, and I've seen a couple people like Long Hair Pretty Nails and a couple others make wings on their nails. And I really thought this was going to be perfect for that. So here I took the backing off of nail forms. This is what my nail forms come on. You could use anything. You could go get, what is that people, not saran wrap, but it's what people use to bake, that paper. I can't even think of the name. You can use that. You could use anything that is a shiny surface. And what I did was I marked how long from the top of my nail is to the tip. So then I could build a nice little wing that I knew would fit. So if you notice here, I'm drawing that square. That is the part that's going to be attached to my nail. And then I'm drawing the wings out from that. And I'm just using a fine tip permanent marker. Now you have to be careful when you're applying your acrylic to this and trying to wipe it away, trying to clean it, sharpen up your lines and stuff. You can actually wipe away the permanent marker. It does get kind of wiped away, but if you're gentle as you wipe away, you can still see the lines. It'll be like this light gray, and it will have indents of where you actually drew. So here I found a picture of some fairy wings, and I'm just going in and trying to do my best to kind of make up something of I think these look more like butterfly wings to me. Sorry, but they do. They did not remind me of fairy wings, and I wanted this to be evil. So when I went in and applied the acrylic, I ended up actually kind of leaving it less swooped and beautiful, if that makes sense. Those butterfly wings had such intricate lining and details, and I just thought they were too beautiful for changeling wings. If I would imagine an evil fairy, I would imagine her wings would kind of be stark, bleak, just the total opposite of elegant and beautiful and just total designs. So I wanted, when I went in and applied, I did my best to keep it bare minimum, just outlining of the wings, and I wanted it to all be black. So here we're going in with Black Beauty, and I'm just going along the lines and taking really wet beads and pretty much just using them to draw with. I'm using my 3D art brush and just dragging those wet beads out into lines. This is really easy. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's hard. Now, if you want things to be completely even and your lining to be completely even, that might be a little bit harder. But for these being changeling wings, I wasn't so worried about everything being perfect. I kind of thought about, like, if Maleficent had wings, would her wings, I don't know, maybe Maleficent would have perfection for wings, but a changeling wouldn't. Changelings are known to be pretty ugly, and we're going to get into that. Now, Heidi from our crew of squad ghouls, she's the one that chose the Irish folklore collab, and she is such a sweetheart. You can find her on Instagram and TikTok as Skull Lover Nails. She does not have a YouTube channel here, but if you guys are on Instagram or TikTok, definitely go check her out. When I say that she does like 5 sets a week, she does 5 sets a week. You will have consistent nails to look at. She loves those nail stamps. She does nail stamping. She does stickers. She does regular fingernail polish, I believe. So her nails are usually medium short to short. But when I say her designs are so intricate and beautiful, you really can get some amazing ideas if you are a short-nailed lady. She has great nail art that you could do. And she teaches people how to water marble. She does a lot of tutorials, like small 30-second tutorials on how to do nail art with fingernail polish. Really cool designs. You know, if I watch them, you're going to be interested. They're definitely interesting, and she is. So back to the wings. Here you can kind of see where we're going with these wings. And I want to say that this is just the rough outline, the beginning. I end up going in and doing like 2 to 3 layers on top of this. You can see how thin it is. And when I started to lift it up at one point after going in with 1 extra layer on top of my outlines, the outlines of acrylic, this right here, I went in with another layer and I went to lift it up, and because black acrylic is not very strong, it needs to be capped. If you go in with black acrylic on your nails, you should cap it. Our black acrylic is one of the stronger black acrylics. It does dry very hard, but because these are fairy wings and I'm not trying to have them super heavy when I apply them to my nails, I did want the bone, what would you call it? Boning of the wings. That's what we're going to call what we're doing right now. The boning of the wings. I wanted that to be lightweight, but I did end up having to go in with 3 layers. I went in with 1 and it really felt flimsy as I was pulling it up off of this paper. You could see where it was starting to bend. So I went in with 1 layer of Black Beauty again, just to make it thicker. But then I actually ended up going in with clear acrylic and making it more sturdy. Clear acrylic definitely dries super hard, super firm, and unbendable. So it's great if you're going to do wings and do it with a colored acrylic, but make sure that you actually cap that too. If you're going to do a design like this, clear acrylic will definitely help you make sure that your wings are sturdy and unbreakable. I actually broke my wings a couple times. I did this design and I did the wings, both wings, in one night, applied them, and did the acrylic on my nails. And I think that was like 7-8 hours of work. And I was tired, so I laid down and one ended up busting. So when I woke up, I had to end up fixing it, going in, filing the nails, starting designs and ended up breaking it again and had to go in. These are very, very flimsy. And the reason why I'm going in with more lines up through the wings is because I realized just that outlined boning of the frame of them, it was not going to be enough to hold the wings together. I probably should have done more, but I really liked the way that the wings looked, and they were just done for pictures and video. Literally, once this set was done and I got a video of it, I clipped the wings off, clipped the nails down, and ran into work. So now we're getting ready to apply the wings, apply the acrylic, and design the nails. And I already, before I started the video, pushed back my cuticles, buffed over my natural nails, getting them ready. I'm blending in them tips. I didn't want to blend in the tips while I was drawing out the wings on the paper because I was scared one of the tips might pop off, even though they are really sturdy gel tips. I just didn't want to take that chance. So blending in the tips, the thumb is going to be shorter. It's not necessary to be long. It's not going to be in the pictures, and it would have been a waste of acrylic. So we're going in with dehydrator and nail primer and just getting everything ready for the acrylic application, which our acrylic application is going to be Shake Your Shamrock, which is the glittery green, neon green acrylic, and then Glow Me the Money, which is just regular neon green, but it glows as an acrylic. Here is our monomer, our ambrosia monomer, in the new containers. Oh, I love this. It's in a squirt bottle. It's amazing. So for the nails, we're just using green acrylic, and we're going to be applying the wings with the acrylic. So I'm not going to be using any more Black Beauty, because once I'm done doing the nails and I file them into shape, I'm going to actually go in with black gel polish to do my shadowing, and you're going to see that get done. So now it is time to get into the folklore of changelings and where did they come from, the mystery of it, what caused humans to believe in changelings. So I'm going to talk about two different aspects of this because it belongs in two different realms. We're going to be talking about changelings, where they come from, and then we're going to talk about why do humans believe in this. So changelings started in the medieval times, the idea of this, and this is, I believe, the fear of the unknown, right? When things are going on and you are uneducated and you don't understand what is going on around you, you come up with these ideas of your own. So in pre-industrial times in Europe, which are like medieval times, humans used to bear as many offspring as they could for their family, because these children would grow up and be able to help with the homestead, help with the farming, help with money, work, whatever. Women would bear as many children as they could in the hopes that their children would be healthy, smart, be able to help the family. Just, they would bear as many as they could, right? Okay. So if a woman bears as many children, she needs these children. These children are kind of like an investment of time and resources. You have to spend a lot of time raising a child until it can actually fend for itself and help the family. And you have to spend a lot of resources feeding this child. This child is an investment into your family and the growth of it, because in medieval times, you were worth what you had in land and property. It wasn't really about money. This is more of a bartering time. You needed to have resources to barter with. So you needed as many people on the homestead to be able to help with this living situation, right? So now I want to get into fairies. Fairies are very devious creatures. They're not all beautiful. Some of them are very ugly, like leprechauns, oafs, trolls are of the fae type. You have some fairies that are beautiful, but then you have some that are not. Now, in the fairy realm of beautiful fairies that are vain, they want love, they want people to adore them, they want attention, and they have their own needs, right? And fairies have offspring. Now, when a fairy has an offspring, and this offspring is ugly, That is not good. They need to do something about it. And fairies are devious. They have no morals. They're not like humans. So they come up with different ways to get rid of this ugly, imbecile, deformed offspring of theirs. Now, when human women give birth, if they have a child that is ugly and deformed and sickly, back in medieval times, they would think, have I been cursed? What is wrong with this baby? They wouldn't understand. Sometimes a baby is born colicky, cries a lot, doesn't eat when you want it to eat. Sometimes babies are born, deformed. Doesn't mean that they're not going to grow into productive human beings, but back in these times, people didn't know how to deal with this situation. They didn't understand it. You could have a million people have beautiful, perfect babies, and then for some reason your baby just comes out very different. So they, without science, without knowledge, decided to come up with their own reasoning. These fairies are devious. They're doing all these things to them, creating all this, the problems that they have, things they don't understand, these storms, weather changes, these fairies that might mess with their livestock and make their livestock run off. These are devious fairies. And to give birth to a beautiful baby and then realize this baby is deformed or sickly and it's not taking food the way you want it to. This is another trick from these fairies. These fairies swapped out your baby with one of their disgusting offspring, and they took your baby to either worship them and adore them and show them love because they are very vain, or they traded your baby to the devil to make just a deal. And now you have two options. Raise this changeling fairy baby that you don't believe is actually yours because you don't want your baby to be hurt by the fairies, and you believe that if you hurt this changeling baby, the fairies will try to hurt your child. Or you can just kill this changeling baby because it is a waste of your resources. It's not able to do anything, and it's just a waste of your time and your resources from your family. You need to be able to give a baby to the family that's going to actually be able to help out in the end. So in medieval times, we actually have records of during certain times, mass child unaliving, women believing that their sickly children were changelings. They would just take them out and either throw them away and let them die or kill them themselves. And this was a prevalent issue pre-industrial Europe. All right, look at these wings. I applied them with acrylic. You saw me do that. I just applied some acrylic to the wings, stuck it to my nail, and then went in and built out that structure. So here we are going in with some base gel because I want the black gel polish to go on smoothly as I'm trying to fade it to the center of the nail. I thought this might be a good idea because I'm going to be going around the cuticle areas with the black gel polish, and I want a smooth application. So I chose to go in with base gel. I'm going in on the wings with base gel just because it adds another layer of strength, fills in some of those porous holes that are there because the acrylic looks kind of faded in places where I structured it with clear acrylic. I'm going in with base gel and just covering it all, and going in and doing the rest of the nails with base gel. But what do you think about the changeling story? This is a serious issue back then. Women just unaliving their own babies because they believed that a fairy swapped this baby out. Their baby would have been perfect. The fairies wanted their perfect baby and traded them for their sickly baby. What do you guys think about this? All I can think of when I look into history, it doesn't matter what history I look into, whether it's the United States history, the Mayan history, the European history, African history, Asian history. I mean, some of it's still savage as fuck. But when I say like history was savage, it was savage. These women were killing their own babies. Like, did they? I don't know if they really truly believed in fairies or if they just used it as an excuse. I honestly feel like sometimes people came up with stories. Like, it's okay to come up with a story to explain what is going on in your life. But when you come up with a story like that, like, why couldn't you come up with a story that a fairy had a sickly baby and it put its aura into your baby so that you could take care of it and keep it alive? Like, why not that? Why do you have to make up a story that you now have an evil child changeling and that you have to kill it? Like, man, these savage history is savage. And to know, like, I love fae stories. I'm not into Celtic stories. I'm more into like Norse mythology, the gods, the fays, the Valkyrie. I'm more into stuff like that. But I love fairies in general. And to come to find out that fairies and the stories and the origins of fairies came about like this is just, it's wild to me. It truly is wild to me. I mean, then you got to think, like, maybe if fairies really are real and they have this different realm of being and they're not in our realm, but they could visit if they wanted. So say like fairies truly are real. This would be crazy. Like, oh God, people are psycho. Like, people are seriously psycho. All right, so I'm done talking about changeling. You guys got to tell me what you think about it, because I just think it's savage to come up with something like that. If fairies are real and women did not make it up, like say they somehow figured out, saw fairies and believed in them and they were real and they really were killing their babies because they truly believed this was a fairy child. Like, you have to imagine somewhere in their head they're thinking, like, what if this isn't a fairy child? Maybe I just gave birth to a sickly child. And they still kill their own child? Oh my God. Like, it just blows my mind, the crap that people did back then. All right, so here are our art brushes. You can see them on the left. I think I showed them a little bit better. Here is our baddie brush. Now this is for gel application, gel paint application. It is a flat brush, but I'm using it. I took one of our liner brushes, lined the outside of the nails with black, and then used my baddie brush to fade it in. And then wherever I got gel up in my cuticle area, I just go in with my acrylic brush and alcohol, kind of clean that out. And yeah, so you can see how after doing the base gel application, going in and lining them with black and using the baddie brush to fade it in, it kind of gives you a very smooth, surreal look. I really like that. I don't think, if I would have left the nails without base gel, right, and I would have been working on just buffed acrylic, I don't think that I could have gotten this fade as beautiful. I think it would have really looked rough. So definitely, if you're going to do a fade like this, go in with base, do it on a nice smooth surface first. So doing the winged nails, when I applied them, like you saw, I applied them with acrylic. I made sure that I actually flipped my hand over and the underside of the wing where it starts to apply to the nail. Make sure that you fill that in with acrylic also. You want that structure there on the underside. Otherwise, the wing will start to actually fall backwards. So definitely give it that structure. And here you can see us going in again, fading out that black gel polish with the baddie brush. And I loved this set. I loved this set. I know that people love beautiful pink nails and like flowers and stuff like that, but I'm truly trying to reach that side of YouTube that is just interested in different stuff, I guess. I don't like to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. I like I love doing trends, but I love making them my own, and that's why I'm so glad that I joined the Squad Goals collab. I want you guys to make sure you go check out Tessa and Sheena, Sweet Tea Nails and Nail Addict She. They are amazing, along with Heidi on Instagram, Skull Lover Nails. All the links are down below. Check everybody out and tell me, what do you think about changelings? Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Help me out. Make sure you comment below. I love you. Bye.